4 days to be exact until the first round gets underway. And we've been going through our analysts' mock drafts in the weeks leading up to the draft. And here's a look at our own Bryant McFadden's latest mock. So this one at the top, first round, first pick overall, Fernando Mendoza, pretty consistent across the board, but maybe some prizes elsewhere. So to break down some of the highlights from his mock, let's go ahead and bring B-Mac into the show. B-Mac, always great to see you. Thanks for joining us this morning. Let's begin, though, with the Giants, who, of course, now have 2 picks in this first round, thanks to the trade last night from Dexter Lawrence. What do you think they should do with these 2 picks?
Well, there you have it in my mock draft in terms of the top 10 with the Giants with their first round selection at 5. I have them attacking the offensive line woes or concerns for their unit and taking Francis Mauigoa from Miami. I think he's one of the more talented offensive linemen in the draft, and he's already made it known he can care less where he plays. He just wants to take one of those 5 positions on the offensive line. And I see ideally in a perfect world when they draft CC, moving him potentially at that right guard position. You have Jermaine at right tackle. You have Andrew at left tackle. Now, instantly you improve your offensive line to be able to protect second-year quarterback Jackson Dart in a more consistent way. And then, of course, with the most recent news with the Giants also getting the top 10, another top 10 pick at 10 with the Dexter Lawrence trade, as you mentioned, I have them addressing another offensive position at the wide receiver spot in Jordan Tyson. So if you look at the Giants potentially with these 2 top selections, they're day 1 starters in my opinion. You don't miss with either guy, Jordan Tyson. Many would say if he was healthy the entire season in 2025, he probably would be the best wide receiver available. But because of the injury concerns, and now we're hearing that he is slated to be healthy, I think he's a can't-miss prospect as well for the Giants.
Good to know you're on the same page as our own Mike Renner, who we just had. He also had Jordan Tyson going to the Giants with that 10th pick. So let's go ahead and look elsewhere to Dallas. You actually have them trading up to select Sonny Styles, a guy you actually believe may be the most athletic guy in the entire draft. Tell us why.
Oh, no question. Anytime you're 6'3", 6'4", you're running around 4.3s, low 4.4s, you're 240-ish, almost 250-ish, you're jumping almost like, 40-plus, athleticism is there. And everything he did there in Indy, we saw in game action. So the combine results matched the hot tape that he put forth throughout his collegiate career for Ohio State. And for Dallas, this is a major void for them when you talk about the off-ball linebacker position. I understand once upon a time they had Micah Parsons. They moved on from him. And I'm not saying Sonny can potentially give you the same Michael Parsons type of impact, but in terms of providing a stability and consistency, I think he can, and he can be able to give you some rush elements when you look at the athleticism and the speed that he has. So for me, when you talk about Dallas needing to improve their defense dramatically, right? You cannot wait for a guy if he's still available. So I have the Dallas Cowboys moving up from 12 to 8, doing some nice business with the New Orleans Saints to be able to draft one of the more athletic players in the draft in Sonny Styles at 8.
All right, let's go ahead and skip to 14. The Ravens are on the clock here, and you have them taking tight end Kenyon Sadiq. Tell us why you're so high on him, because I was looking back, and our own Ryan Wilson doesn't even have a first-round grade on him.
Yeah, I understand, and the thing about Kenyon Sadiq, it's the ceiling, it's the potential, right? And I have my reservations with Kenyon as well, because what he did in Indy didn't always show up in game action. Talking about running that sub 4.4, the measurables is there. He's very, very explosive, but he didn't always display that 4.4 like speed on Saturdays. But the thing I love about this relationship with Kenyon and the Baltimore Ravens, he is a Raven. He fits what they love, especially at the tight end position. Moving on from Isaiah Likely, Baltimore loves unicorns at the tight end position. He is a matchup nightmare, and we know Lamar loves throwing to tight ends, especially in the seam. So you now have Mark Andrews, right, who's towards the, I don't want to say the end of his career, but clearly he's closer to the end than the beginning. And bring in Kenyon Sadiq, a guy who can really cause some issues, especially if he's coached the right way within that offense. I mean, I think this would be a great relationship in terms of collegiate prospect pairing up with the NFL organization and the Baltimore Ravens. And like I said, name me another quarterback who doesn't love throwing to his tight ends more than Lamar Jackson. I think this would be a nice pairing for the two.
BMAC, the draft gets underway from Pittsburgh, and your Steelers will be on the clock at 21. So who's going to be the newest player to wear that black and gold behind you?
Oh, my goodness. When you talk about the excitement that is lingering around Allegheny County right there in Pittsburgh, they're fired up. So for me, when I look at the mock for the Pittsburgh Steelers and seeing some of the players that were chosen before Pittsburgh made their selection at 21, you got to go get a dynamic playmaker. You got to go get a guy that can instantly fit into a huddle and find his niche within the offense. So I have the Pittsburgh Steelers at 21, taking KC Concepcion. The thing I love about KC, he is a four-down player. Right? He is a four-down player. And you might ask, BMAC, what do you mean when you say a four-down player? Well, offensively, we know he can impact impact an offense on first, second, and third down. But also, when it comes to fourth down, being a returner, a punt returner, he has another opportunity to get the football in his hands to make an impact. There lies the four-down impact player that he is. So for Pittsburgh, you address some of the wide receiver concerns, bringing in Michael Pittman. Now you have two experienced wide receivers in DK and Michael Pittman. But now you bring in a more versatile player, a guy that can be that joystick, that can kind of work in between the numbers, work in between the seams, and create separation, not only in his route running ability, but when he gets the football into his hands, and he can be a dynamic returner for you. I love the pairing for whoever the quarterback will be for the Pittsburgh Steelers if you're able to land a great playmaker, offensive playmaker in KC Concepcion.
All right, let's end with the Cardinals here, where it's no secret they need some quarterback help, and that's exactly what you have them addressing with their pick. But tell us why Ty Simpson is such a great fit here.
Well, for the Arizona Cardinals, clearly there's a big need for them to improve the quarterback position, especially moving forward. And when you look at the quarterback prospects, in terms of quantity, there's not a lot, right? We know Fernando will be a guaranteed for sure first-round selection. Outside of Fernando, the next best name is Ty Simpson. So for the Arizona Cardinals, I have them doing some really good business with the New England Patriots at 31. Arizona trades back into the first round with the New England Patriots to select their quarterback potential of the future in Ty Simpson. This is a die need. And the issue for the Arizona Cardinals and some of the other teams that need quarterbacks, there's not a lot of names that could go in the first round. Think about this. This is a rare draft where right now, as we see before Thursday, there's only one legit name that will go in the first round at the quarterback position, and that's Fernando Mendoza. With Ty Simpson, there's a bunch of question marks looming because it's not a quarterback-heavy draft like we've seen in years past where you have 3 or 4 guys we know for sure could be first-round selections. So for the Arizona Cardinals, you cannot afford to wait because we know also who else needs a quarterback? It's the New York Jets. So once the second round starts, the Jets will be picking before the Arizona Cardinals. So it's your job to find a way to maneuver to get in front of the Jets, who we all know need to answer the quarterback question as well moving forward. And this is the best way for Arizona to do so, in my opinion. Do some business with a team that doesn't really need their first-round selection in the New England Patriots, and they can add some resources in the latter part of the draft, move out of the first round, you move in, and there, voila. Magic. Ty Simpson will be an Arizona Cardinal.
Voila. I love it. BMAC, before we let you go, we are learning that Dexter Lawrence, the former Giant, has officially passed his physical, so this trade is a done deal. And we are also hearing that it is a 1-year, $28 million extension as he heads to the Bengals. Just quickly, what do you think he's going to bring to Cincinnati? How does this play out?
Stability in the interior of the defensive line. And I understand when you talk about his year last year with the New York Giants, and the fans were saying, well, he had a down year. He isn't who he once was. He might not have shown up big time in the stat sheet, but his impact was always felt when you watched him play. He commanded double teams, play in and play out. And because of the extra attention that he received, a guy like Brian Burns was able to eat with one-on-one opportunities, right? So when you remove that type of player from the New York Giants, it's a big void. You got to shoot. You got to shoot your shot. The last few years, they haven't been shooting their shot. So guess what? They haven't been making any buckets. But seeing how bad they've been in years past and just a one-dimensional team offensively, you have to shoot your shot. They shot their shot, It's a big time three. And man, if they cash in instantly, their defense is better because you have to respect Dexter Lawrence. And now other guys will have the same luxury on the defensive line that Brian Burns had last year, playing alongside Dexter with one-on-one opportunities. Mafe, you look at Miles Murphy, Jonathan Allen, who they brought in, Shamor Stewart. All these guys will benefit from Big 9-7 because of the attention that he commands. And hopefully he can make the entire defense, second level guys, third level guys, much better as well. In my opinion, I think he has the skill set to do so.
Voila, there you go, Cincy. Everyone benefits, according to our own Bryant McFadden. Always great to see you, my friend, here live on CBS Sports HQ. We're talking a lot about the NFL draft. You can get more